Hi, Julie here. I thought I would share with you a little bit of the inspiration behind this image, or this series of images, which we called Vintage Fairy. So there was this particular image by Smitten and Swoon, which I just thought was really pretty with the lace and the fairy lights and all the rest of it. There was also this image, I apologize, I can't remember who took this image, but I just loved the colouring and the iridescent wings and the butterfly wings around the eyes, but of course we wanted to make our own. We didn't want to copy anybody, but it's all very well and good to be inspired by them. I also went into Midjourney, which is an AI program, and I developed some prompts to try and give me sort of an inspiration mood board. I wanted a 16-year-old girl, because that's the age of our model, with sort of blondie brownie coloured long hair, a boho look. I wanted like a tent type thing made out of lace with fairy lights and things like that. I wanted it very soft, very ethereal, light and airy. So I sort of put those in, and I came up with quite a few different images that became basically our mood board for this. Of course we wanted to mix it up because we wanted to make it more soft, more feminine. We wanted to do our own spin on it. We still incorporated the iridescent wings. We had the fairy lights and the lace tent. We put some butterflies on, but we really kicked it up and made our own. So sit back, enjoy. I'm going to show you staging the setup, and then a little bit behind the scenes during the shoot, and then I'm going to share with you some before and after images as well. Okay, so we're all pretty much set up for the Vintage Fairy shoot. I just thought I would go through some stuff. So I'm actually using constant light because I've got fairy lights and things like that happening. I'm going to use constant so that they're not completely overpowered. So the strobes will frequently overpower fairy lights and little LEDs and things like that. So we're going to use constant. So what I have actually got, I'm hoping you can see, I am using two Zhiyun lights. This is the Molus, the G200. So this is the powered 200 watt, which is one of my favorite lights at the moment. It comes with like a little power pack, and you can turn it on and adjust it and play with that. We're using the Photix 85 centimeter. So I've got the beauty dish, so that's the silver insert. So I've got that on there, plus the diffusion, so that will give us some brilliant light. What I also have got is the little 65 centimeter from Photix, same system, beauty dish with diffusion on the other side, and this is also on a constant light. This is the Molus 100 from Zhiyun. So I'm going to be using that as just my kicker light. My main one is obviously going to be my fill light. They're not in position at all. I'll do that later. So we're getting set for our Vintage Fairy shoot. So we've got our model Nicola. Say hi.
Hi.
And Teighan's doing hair and makeup.
Hi.
And we're going to get some behind the scenes shot, and we'll show you a bit more later. Okay, so we've just finished the shoot with Nicola, and we're pretty happy with the results. I can't wait to show you the photos. Just again, what we were using. So I was using the Zhiyun X100 Molus light and the Photix 65 centimeter beauty dish with the double diffuser. We were also had lots of LEDs. There's fairy lights, you can still see them going. The other thing that we were using was the Lumecube RGB light stick. Lots and lots of lights. The other one was the Zhiyun Molus G200, which is the powered light, and that's currently on 13%, but I did have it turned up. So but that's got the beauty dish. It's got the beauty dish, you can see it lit up in there. Yeah, so that is a wrap for today. Just to round everything out, I took this image into Photoshop and I go through a little bit of the editing. So with the healing brush, I just did a little bit of repaired, just removed a few flyaways, a couple of blemishes. Then I went into my Photoshop portrait actions and I did a little bit of skin softening. Not a lot, because Nicola's skin's pretty good. It was just that I wanted that sort of ethereal glow to the whole thing. So I did a little bit of skin softening. I'll put the link for the portrait actions in the notes below, just so that you can grab a hold of that. So I just go through, I applied the action, and then I brush it back in. As you can see, it looks pretty bad there, but the whole idea is you then drop the opacity right down so it is quite soft. So it's not exactly frequency separation. It is a little bit different to that, but it's along the same idea. I then also wanted to put just a little bit of green, just a pop in her eyes. So I also did that eye pop. I went quite bright because she is a fairy. I wanted something a little bit more whimsical. So I put the green in there. You'll see when we get to the end, I decided that it was actually a bit too bright. So I worked with that. I also put a highlight in her eyes as well, and that's all in the action pack. Okay, so now that I've pretty much got my retouching done, I'm going to go in and do some color grading. So what I have been doing on a lot of these images is just stamp merging it all onto a new layer. So I'll do that. I will then take it into DxO Film Pack. So go into Filter, DxO Film Pack, and I have been applying some vintage film emulations to this image just to kick that up just a touch. Okay, so I won't go into too much detail on Film Pack. I'll do that in a separate video, but one of my favorites is the Lumecube Metropolis. So I apply that by clicking on it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into customize, and I'm going to tweak that a little bit. So I don't want the intensity. I also don't want the grain added, because I was shooting at ISO 640. There was already a little bit of grain, so I don't want too much applied to my image. I'm also going to brighten the exposure a little bit, and that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it. So if I hit save, it'll pop back into Photoshop. So there it is in Photoshop. The other thing that I did was I have got two fine art actions that I have got, and this is Marigold Light and the other one is Periwinkle Dream. I'm using them both at 50%, so I'm just going to grab them so I don't have to re-edit, and I'm going to pop that over onto there. And if I go out to full screen, that's pretty much where I am. I'm thinking that the green in her eyes is probably too much, so I'm just going to turn that off and delete that layer for the moment. I'm going to drop the color down a little bit, come back, merge that again, and just rerun it through Film Pack. Okay, so that's the final edit. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed coming behind the scenes on our vintage fairy shoot. I will now put up a couple more images so you can see some of the final series. I'll also put the link for the full gallery below, as well as everything we used, from the lights to the tablet that I'm using to edit on, the music that we used, everything. So a big thank you to my model Nicola, our hair and makeup artist Teighan, and Nicola's mum Lynn, who also helped out behind the scenes. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. See you next time.